Hello, everyone, lovers and leaders. Welcome to another episode with me, Dr. Sarah B. All content about being the best lover in our relationships and the most authentic transformational leader. Okay. For this episode, as we just start 2025, I can just imagine some of you are just dreading to go back to your job. Okay. So, this video is about talk about signs where it's obvious that it's time for you to move on from your job into a new job, or some of you may even decide to be self-employed. Okay, so here we go. Here's some signs. Number one, as I kind of mentioned, dreading to go back to your job after the holidays. I mean, there's some nuances to this particular sign. All right, I would ask you to dig deep, like what is it? Because dread usually some kind of anxiousness. What is it you're really anxious about? So try to unpack that. Usually there is a solution. If there's not, that would be a sign to move on. Okay, so that's the number one sign. You come back from vacation, you come back from holidays, and you are not excited to go back. Forget the Monday blues. You're just like, you know what? I've spent time away from this environment. I feel so much better. Coming in, I am just going to be a version of myself I don't recognize, or I just don't want to be anymore. All right. So this is your authentic leadership part of you is coming out. It's truly coming out. All right. Another sign is time to get a new job, or again, be self-employed, is to ask yourself, are you bored? Boredom is a real psychological thing. And the short end of it is that the reality is that when you're bored, you're just not doing what you are created to do. You are not in an environment, you haven't chosen the right environment, or it was okay, the organization, the job was okay in the beginning, but you've outgrown that job. All right. And now you're just doing things that it's just the same thing and you're bored. Point number three, you're not growing, which is connected to that point number two. You are not growing. When I come into a space, again, with my industrial organizational psychology hat on, when I come into a space and I observe that folks have been in their role for 5+ years and their job title hasn't changed, I will first look at the individual and figure out, okay, has their job tasks changed? Okay, so they can be elevated and the organization gets elevated, or are they literally just doing the same thing for 5+ years and their title is the same, which is justified then, right? But they're not really growing. But some folks are okay with that. But if you are somebody that takes inventory of how you use your time in your job, in the organization, and you know that you are responsible for your growth and development, the leader in you is talking to you, is saying that you're not growing, this is a time to reevaluate. Come into the office and ask your boss, as you plan the goals for the new year, like, this is what you want to talk about, dig into for personal development. Is resources available for you to actually develop in this new year? Or are there some projects that you can leverage? And oftentimes the reality is, unless you've had background experience in a specific project, you're going to have to do some free work for a while, right, in this project for you to develop yourself and your skills in it. And then hopefully it can actually, package itself as a new job opportunity. In other words, a new job title for you. All right. So if you're not growing, look for opportunities to grow in the workplace. But that's usually a sign when it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to just step out peacefully because you are not growing. Again, this is for the folks, so the movers and the shakers. You have a vision for your life, okay? And you are a leader, all right? So another point as of, what am I on? 4, 5. Point number 5, I would also say if you're in an environment where you don't really have a mentor that you can say to yourself, this is a role I want to look do eventually in the future. It could be in the same organization, it may be in a different organization, depending how your life goes. But you look at this person and you're saying, I want to be like them, and they are available to you to mentor you. If you don't have this mentor, this type of mentor around to help you, like literally speak into your life and assess your growth and say, you know what, I suggest you can go this way, try this out. If you don't have that in that environment, this is also for me is a key for me. It's time to go. All right, because we all know there is a space for self-development, and there is also a space, okay, to leverage your network. All right, and you want to be able to find the right people that care about you, you know, because if somebody's your supervisor, for example, or some leader there, you and they know for you to grow to the next level, they also have to invest in you somehow. Either they send you off to get some training, and to that contributes to your role and to the organization, or they literally contribute to your growth by saying, you know what, I see you're really good in this area, I can see how you were successful here, I like the way you think here, this is a new project here, I would like you to go here. If you don't have that person that cares enough for your growth and development, you're likely not in the company of real leaders. You're not in the company of authentic transformational leaders. You're likely in the company of people that, either are secretly competitive with you, or they themselves don't really care about growth. They're just happy with where they are, just predictable work. They don't want too much on their shoulders in this organization. And that's fair, right? So if you are in a space where you don't have somebody that cares about your growth and development for real, this is a sign it's time to move on. Okay? It's a sign to move on. And as you move on, I want you to also think about what you've learned in your current job for the past 3 years, 5 years. What skills, tangible and intangibles skills, can you actually transfer over? Like, what is it that makes you unique? What is it that makes you like really valuable, right? That you would actually want to command a 20% increase for a new job. I mean, they do say that when you start a new job, usually you can get a 20% increase. Whereas, when you stay in the current job, it's just like incremental increases, right? So I also want to talk to people that see themselves moving on from their job and being self-employed as a consultant, maybe, or legit starting a new job. I mean, new business where you can actually start hiring people, right? Eventually. I want to ask you certain key questions before you start this, new realm of entrepreneurship. Number one, can you self-supervise? Yes, self-supervise. Are you that employee that needs to be like pushed all the time, told what to do, or do you initiate? Do you see a problem? Okay, or do you see a opportunity for improvement and you bring it to your boss or your team and say, you know what, this is what I see, this is the day, and I think I've researched this and this is what I believe what the plan is. You're able to influence the change, okay? You're even able to, collaborate with others to bring about that new change, okay? That new idea that you have, right? So you've got some skills in change management, for example, or project management and people skills, right? So again, if you're going to start a business and you want to transfer your skills over, I want you to first ask yourself, can you self-supervise? Okay? Because if you're left by yourself, because there's some members, if you are left by yourself a day or two or three, you don't know what to do with yourself. The time is ticking. The time is just ticking. All right. So can you self-supervise? All right. And also, do you like people? Yeah, you can do a solopreneur gig, right? But at some point, if you really want to scale your business, you're going to have to connect and collaborate. So are you confident with your connection with people to actually start your own side business that eventually will become a real money maker? Do you like people? All right. Can you organize your life? Can you organize other people's life? Because when you start hiring people, you do set an agenda for them, for them to organize their life as well. And also, I just want you to also think about, are you somebody that cares? That's one thing I see in the workplace too, that some people really care. And you can tell those people that really care generally on the top of the ladder. Some people that are really just, don't care that much. They care just enough, but not that much. Oftentimes, those people, they're distracted. They either got some other thing going on, outside the workplace, and that's fine. But they don't really, their potential doesn't increase in the workplace. They just do the bare minimum, and they're okay with that. And some people just do the bare minimum, but secretly want to move ahead, but they just don't want to do the work to get there. They don't want to do the work to get there. So, do you care? All right. Leaders do care, and they have reasons to care. They want to meet the needs. There's real problems that people are experiencing, whether it's a customer, whether it's internal customers in the workplace. People are really going through some real issues. Do you care enough to solve their issues? There was a really great motivational speaker. I don't know if it was Jim Rohn or something like that, but along that realm, when you help people do, or was it Zig Ziglar? I think it was Zig Ziglar. When you help when you help other people with their problems, you also get helped as well. All right. So it's interesting. You will find your return on investment. You will find that sense of happiness, sense of contentment and satisfaction when you see the other person say, thank you, that was so helpful. Like my job is now better as a result of your input, right? So these are some signs for you to really think about in this new year, 2025. Big signs for you to just recognize that you may be ready for this new job. You're ready for a new organization. All right. There's the boredom, like I talked about. There's the dreading to go into the workplace. And again, there could be several factors there. There could be some human issues there, or your actual job itself, the content that you do is just not satisfying enough, right? You don't have the right mentorship. Some people just don't care about your personal growth and development. Sidebar, there are some people, leaders, that see your potential, but they're not going to say nothing to you. You're going to have to prove yourself to them. You really have to. Even in the business world, you have to be a disruptor. Likewise, in the workplace, if you're in that type of environment whereby you have to show yourself that that you want this new job, someone may not say, you know what, I think you'll be good for this. Yeah, you're going to have to be a disruptor and really be brave and courageous enough to say, you know what, I have this talent. I've done this before. This is what I want to develop in the next 1 year. Okay. All right. So I really hope this was really helpful for you. All right. It's a lot to move to a new environment. Think about when you move into a new job environment, you have to learn things all over again, learn to connect with people all over again. So it's a big risk, but it can also be very rewarding when you are self-assured and you have enough data that you do need to move on from this organization. You have exhausted all options in your current organization, and you want to go to the next level, and you're ready to be stretched. You're ready to put in extra work to get to that, to have that new level by starting a new organization. Okay. Everything is a risk. Staying in your current job, being bored, not being motivated, is a risk, because this is your time. Your life is ticking. Okay. And it affects other areas of your life. Going to a new organization, there's some risk there as well, but you need to make calculated risks. All right. You need to do a really good inventory. Like I mentioned before, what skills do you have right now that are natural to you, that will be that are unique to you, that you can take anywhere with you? And just like I said before, some of you may want to leave your current job and start a business. I'm going to have to ask you, and like I've already asked you, evaluate, can you self-supervise? Can you take control of your daily agenda? Can you stick with it? Were you a consistent employee so you can be a consistent employer? You got to really be honest with yourself. Take a real inventory of your personality traits to see if you will be a successful leader. If you are somebody that still needs somebody to tell you what to do, I'm going to need you to really still study what leadership looks like, right? And one of the biggest ones is initiating, right? Things, self motivating, and you really care, all right? You genuinely care about the people and what we do, what everybody does. So if you do want to start a business and the only motivation is I want my I want to make my own money and I want to not to be told what to do, but the question is, when you start that business, can you tell yourself what to do and stick with it? If you can, I would just say go ahead, all right? If you could just start it while you're in your current job until you have enough capital to leave your current job, I would do that. But if you have enough savings for X amount of months as a buffer as your business is growing, do it, because life is so precious and you will never know until you try. All right? Until next time, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Help me like this channel, like this video, and subscribe so you don't miss another video. All right, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you the next time, lover, leader.